calculating with significant figures. When you have measured something in the laboratory, you almost invariably do math with it. There are two kinds of math to be done: multiplication and division, and addition and subtraction. When you do multiplication and division with significant figures, your answer cannot be more precise than your measurements. That's why it's so important to take the measurements to as many significant figures as you possibly can. Because if you're doing, say, a density, and you have only measured the volume to one significant figure, even if your mass has 4 significant figures, if your volume only has 1 significant figure, your density can only have 1 significant figure. The lowest number of significant figures in the calculation, that's how many you can have in your answer. That's where you round. This is the answer to the "where do I round" question. The least number of significant figures in the problem. Addition and subtraction is slightly different. Let's say you measured something that was 3,421 centimeters, and you measured something else that was 15.6 centimeters, and you wanted to add those things together. When you measured 3,421 centimeters, you were not able to measure a tenth. Presumably this 1 here is an estimated digit. This one you used a different ruler, clearly, one that enabled you to measure out to the tenth. But this 0.6 cannot be added here. In math class, you just put a 0 there and you'd add. But again, this is based on a measurement. If this 1 is estimated, then you have no idea what the tenth is at all. It's not a 0, and you can't assume it's a 0. So you can't add here. In practice, of course, you would round. You would say, this is 16, and you would add there, and your answer would be 3,437 centimeters. But the important part here is you cannot add to this. You don't know what it is. So that 6 has to go away. How do you know when you're looking at a number where the significant figures are? Put yourself in the place of the person doing the measuring. They have written down exactly the right number of significant figures. Any non-zero digit automatically going to be significant. If you have a teeny tiny number with zeros at the beginning, those are only there to show you where the placeholder is. So those zeros, not significant. On the other hand, if you have zeros at the end, their only reason for putting those down would be to say they really measured out that far, and this last one is my estimated digit, so those are significant. If you have zeros in the middle, they have to be significant. You have zeros between non-zero digits, they have to be significant because this guy's significant and that guy's significant, so anything in between is significant. The only annoying part is if you have zeros at the end when there's no decimal point, like somebody said to you, it was 500 seconds. Which one is their estimated digit? Is it this one or this one or this one? We don't know. So there's a convention about that. If they mean to say all of them are significant, they'll put a decimal at the end. But more clear is to write it in scientific notation. Anything over here in a scientific notation number is significant. So if they mean 2 significant figures, they'll write 5.0. If they mean 1 significant figure, they'll write 5. If they mean 3 significant figures, they'll write 5.00. This whole times 10 squared is only there to tell you how big the number is, so it's not significant. This one's 2 significant figures, that one's 1, and that one's 3. So look at the number they give you and decide what is it the person's trying to tell you about where their estimated digit is.